Welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive.
Yeah.
And today we're going to be looking at, I think, a pretty fascinating topic.
Yeah.
Movie and TV show reviews.
Right. I see them everywhere.
We see them all the time, right? All over the place.
Yeah.
But you sent me a bunch of sources
Yeah.
that really,
They really break it down.
break down the structure and,
It's more intricate than you think.
I know. It's
It's
like a whole blueprint.
Yeah, it's not just thumbs up or thumbs down.
Yeah.
It's like a whole
The whole
method to the madness.
framework for understanding
Exactly.
media.
So
yeah.
let's start at the very beginning.
Okay.
The intro.
Yes.
These sources really stress that
Yeah.
the intro is super important
Absolutely.
to grabbing the audience's attention.
Like a trailer.
Yeah, it's its own little mini movie trailer almost.
Well, think about it, right? You're scrolling through tons of content.
So you really need to hook the audience instantly,
Yeah.
right off the bat.
So it's not just,
Hey, here's my review of...
hey, everyone, I saw this movie and
Right, exactly.
we need to,
You got to grab them.
you got to set the stage.
Yeah.
Pique their curiosity.
Yeah, what would be
A good example of that.
Imagine a review of the latest superhero movie,
Okay.
right? Instead of just being hey, here's my review of Ant-Man or whatever.
Right.
What if they start with
Yeah.
is this the movie that finally breaks superhero fatigue?
Oh.
Boom.
Okay.
You're interested.
I'm hooked.
You want to know more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So that's the intro.
we got him.
And then the plot summary.
Okay.
This is key,
Yeah.
but also tricky
Oh, how so?
because you need to give the audience enough information to understand the context
Yeah.
of your analysis, but you don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah.
It's a real
A tightrope walk.
tightrope walk. Yeah.
Yeah, because, spoilers are,
Oh, yeah. People hate spoilers.
the worst.
The worst.
Don't?
So what are the key elements here?
Yeah, what are they?
You want to touch on the premise, the basic premise,
Okay.
setting the scene,
Okay.
and then introducing the main players.
Okay.
So it's you're giving the audience a roadmap of the story,
Yeah.
but you're not revealing the destination.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
So, for example.
A great example is Avengers, Endgame.
Yeah.
When that came out, the critics talked about,
Right.
the devastating aftermath of Infinity War,
Mm-hmm.
but they didn't reveal
Right.
how
Yeah.
the heroes would reverse the snap.
Right.
Everyone was dying to know,
Yeah.
but they didn't spoil it.
I remember that.
Yeah.
The internet was going crazy trying to
Oh.
avoid those spoilers.
Big time.
Okay, so
Okay, so we've set the stage.
we've hooked them with the intro. We've
Yeah.
given them a little
Plot summary.
Okay, tennis.
Now we get into the meat of it.
Okay.
Now we're dissecting the movie.
Okay.
What worked, what didn't work.
Okay.
A lot of reviews follow
Yeah.
the good, the bad, sometimes the ugly structure.
Yeah, ugly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So start with the good.
Okay.
Highlight the strengths.
Right.
Celebrate what stood out.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Positive first.
Positive vibes.
Yeah, right. So what kinds of things?
So this is where you might dive deep into
Yeah.
specific aspects like storytelling,
Yeah.
acting,
Yeah.
the visuals, the music, the
I would-
directing,
Okay.
all those elements.
So it's not just
It's not just
oh, the acting was great.
oh, the music was good.
Yeah, you're actually
You got to
showing why.
Right. Take cinematography, for example.
Okay.
A good reviewer might highlight
Hmm.
how a specific shot
Hmm.
in a thriller used, dramatic lighting
Yeah.
or a Dutch angle
Yeah.
to create this sense of unease, foreshadowing, the character's impending doom.
Right. Yeah.
They're not just saying the visuals were good.
Yeah.
They're showing you how they contribute
Yeah.
to the film
Right.
and the impact.
Like you said, giving you a whole new lens to
Exactly.
see the movie through.
It's about education
Right.
as much as entertainment.
I love that about a good review.
It's true.
It's
It can make you appreciate the
Mhm.
craft more
yeah,
and notice things you wouldn't
absolutely.
have otherwise.
Okay, so we've done the good.
Yeah.
We've praised it,
We've celebrated.
celebrated.
Yeah.
But no film is perfect.
Right.
So
So that brings us
Oh, so
to
done.
the bad. The bad.
And this is where
This is where it gets tricky because
good.
you got to walk that line
Yeah.
between critique and criticism.
right. How do you
Because the bad,
yeah,
it's not about,
tearing the film apart.
right, it's not about hating on the movie.
Yeah.
It's about pointing out where it fell short,
Okay.
offering constructive criticism.
Right.
Right. You can acknowledge flaws,
Hmm.
but still be respectful
Right.
of the filmmakers.
I like that.
You know,
So what are some of the common...
some common criticisms are things like plot holes,
Okay.
weak character development,
Yeah.
pacing problems,
Right.
technical issues.
Those all make sense. Yeah.
Like, let's say
Yeah.
a film has this amazing premise,
Okay.
stunning visuals,
Yeah.
but it suffers from pacing issues.
Okay.
A good reviewer might point out
Mm.
specific scenes
Yeah.
that drag on too long,
Right.
disrupt the flow of the story.
So it's not just like, oh, the pacing was bad.
It was boring.
Right.
No, you got to give those specific
Specific examples.
and how those weaknesses
This is that
impact me.
viewing experience. Yeah.
Okay.
But remember, even within the bad,
Yeah.
there's room for nuance.
Like, for instance, a film might have a slow pace,
Okay.
but the reviewer might argue
Mm.
that it's a deliberate choice
Okay.
to build tension
Right?
or to, like, reflect a character's emotional state.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
So, like, even within the criticism,
Right.
there can be
Nuance.
layers.
Yeah.
This is already making me want to go back
Yeah.
and rewatch some of my favorite movies.
It's fun to think about.
with a more critical eye.
Right.
It's fascinating
Yeah.
to think about, like, all this thought process.
And we're just scratching the surface.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
There's so much more
Oh.
to explore.
Okay, so we're back and
Back in the world of reviews.
Yeah.
Unpacking it all.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm starting to see them in a whole new light.
It's like you're peeking behind the curtain.
Yeah, like seeing the wizard.
Exactly.
Swear.
Seeing how it all works.
Yeah.
The tools and techniques.
Yeah.
The tricks of the trade.
Yeah. So before we took a break, we were talking about...
We were talking about the good and the bad.
Yeah.
The strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, but then you sent over all these sources that talked about this thing called themes and symbolism.
Right.
This is where it gets really interesting.
Oh, yeah. This is where we go deeper.
Yeah, it's like...
Beyond the surface.
Yeah, it's like those layers beneath the surface.
Exactly.
Like, what's that all mean?
It's like deciphering the hidden
Ah.
language
Mhm.
of storytelling.
So it's not just about, like, what happens
Right.
on the screen,
Not just the plot.
but, like...
It's about what it all means.
Yeah. The message.
Exactly. A good reviewer can connect
Hmm.
seemingly like disparate elements
Okay.
to reveal the symbolism and the themes.
Okay, so, like, give me an example.
Okay, so like take the movie Parasite,
Okay. Yeah, I love that movie.
right? So there's that staircase,
Hmm.
right? And it's not just a staircase.
Right.
It becomes a symbol
Oh,
of class division,
Right.
representing that stark contrast
Yeah.
between the wealthy family
yeah.
and the poor family.
Right.
So a good review
Yeah.
would unpack that metaphor
Okay.
and show how it elevates the social commentary.
Wow, that's a great example.
Yeah, so it's like,
I never would have thought of that
yeah,
on my own.
it's about seeing the forest and the trees.
I like that.
Like you analyze the individual elements,
Right.
but then you understand how they contribute to the bigger picture,
Yeah.
the overarching themes.
I see. Okay, so that's themes and symbolism.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
And then you also mentioned these sources talk about something called comparisons and references.
Yes.
This sounds really interesting.
So this is where reviewers broaden the scope.
Okay.
They place the film or the show within a larger context.
Okay.
So they might compare it
Mhm.
to other works in the genre,
Uh.
highlight influences,
Mm.
maybe homages,
Okay.
even like subversions of classic tropes.
Oh, so it's kind of like...
It's kind of like saying,
if you liked this movie, you might also like...
exactly, yeah.
Okay.
But it's more than just recommendations.
Right.
Like a reviewer might compare
Hmm.
the latest sci-fi epic
Okay.
to 2001, A Space Odyssey,
Oh, wow.
right? And explore how both films tackle AI
Okay.
and humanity's place in the cosmos.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So, like, using those other films.
To deepen the understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about the intro,
Right.
the
Yeah.
plot, the good, the bad,
Mhm.
deeper themes comparisons.
Left?
Yeah, what is left?
Well, after all that,
Yeah,
the reviewer needs to deliver
right.
their final verdict.
Oh, yeah. This is the part I'm always waiting for.
This is the climax.
Yeah, like, is it good or bad?
This is where they give their opinion.
Yeah,
Was it a masterpiece?
right.
Or a flop?
Okay, so there's more to it than just...
It's more nuanced than that.
Okay.
Than just a thumbs up or down.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
what else is there?
It's a synthesis
Okay,
of all those points,
right.
weighing the strengths,
The
the
glut-
weaknesses,
Right.
and then ultimately
Yeah,
a judgment.
so it's not just like, I liked it.
Right. It's more like,
Yeah,
despite some pacing issues,
okay.
this film's stunning visuals
Yeah.
and thought-provoking themes
Right.
make it a must-see.
Okay, so bringing it all
Bring
together.
it all together.
And then, like, is there a rating system or?
Yeah, there's different rating systems.
Okay.
Some reviewers use stars.
Okay. Yeah.
Some use letter grades.
Mm.
Some use thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yeah.
Even just a yes or no recommendation.
Yeah. Okay.
So it varies.
Cool. So what about the outro then?
The outro is like the curtain call.
Ah.
It wraps up the review,
Mm,
leaves the audience
yeah.
with some final thoughts.
So like a summary.
Summary.
Yeah.
Maybe reiterate their recommendation, but most
Huh.
importantly,
Yeah.
encourage discussion.
Oh, okay. So like,
Like they might ask viewers
yeah.
to share their own thoughts in the comments.
Okay. Yeah.
I like that.
A good review sparks a conversation.
It does.
It doesn't just tell you what to think.
Right.
It invites you
To engage with the
Yeah.
material.
Yeah.
Okay.
On a deeper level.
So it's like a springboard
Exactly.
for further exploration.
More to think about.
Yeah. I love that.
Me too.
So, we've talked a lot about the structure.
The elements?
Yeah, all these elements.
Uh-huh.
But what about the visual stuff?
Oh, yeah. Visuals are huge.
Yeah.
Especially online.
Yeah, because like,
It's not just talking heads anymore.
right, it's like,
We're bombarded with content.
yeah, you got to grab people's attention.
You got to make it visually engaging.
Yeah. So what are some ways they're doing that?
Well, they might use clips from the film,
Okay. Yeah.
obviously. But it can be more than that.
Okay.
Like imagine a historical drama
Okay.
and they have graphics
Mm-hmm.
illustrating the costumes.
Or the set design.
Right.
Or a music video review.
Yeah.
That breaks down the choreography.
That would be cool. Like
Yeah.
a whole multimedia experience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Using visuals to enhance the storytelling
Right.
and the analysis.
And especially when you're talking about like the good and the bad.
like imagine praising a film's cinematography
Okay.
and then showing a montage
Right.
of stunning shots
Yeah.
or critiquing the CGI.
Okay.
And you show a side-by-side comparison
Right.
of a practical effect
Yeah.
versus a bad digital effect.
Yeah. That would really drive home the point.
It's about showing, not telling.
Mm. Yeah.
And visuals can make it more impactful,
Yeah.
more memorable.
Yeah.
But it's not always about being flashy.
Right.
Sometimes a simple image
Mm.
can be more powerful
Yeah.
than words.
Okay, so, this whole conversation
Yeah.
has got me thinking. We've talked about how reviewers
Right.
analyze movies.
Huh.
What about us?
Good question.
Like, how can we as viewers use this stuff?
Well, understanding the structure
Yeah.
can make you a more
Informed
informed and critical viewer.
Right.
So instead of just passively watching,
Mm.
you start paying attention
So-
to the elements.
That the reviewers highlight.
Exactly.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, like they're giving us a toolkit
A tool.
to deconstruct
Oh, I like that.
the media.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we can actually analyze
To
it
a deeper level.
on a deeper level,
Yeah.
appreciate the craft.
Appreciate the artistry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
And that's where the magic happens.
Uh,
When you see those gears turning.
yeah.
And you understand the choices, you become a more active participant
Oh.
in the story.
So
It's like we're not just watching anymore.
Yeah.
We're engaging
Yeah.
in a conversation
with the movie.
with the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, this has been so insightful.
It's a fascinating topic. I really feel like I've learned something
I think we all have,
about how to watch movies,
yeah, how to think about them
how to think about them.
critically.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, me too.
All right, we are back, and wow, we've really unpacked a lot here
Yeah, it's amazing
about these reviews.
how much goes into it.
Yeah, and like how much goes into it and how much they can like affect our own viewing experience.
Right, like now I'm watching movies and I'm thinking about all these elements.
Me too. It's like a whole new way to watch movies.
Yeah.
But there is one thing we haven't really touched on yet,
Okay, what's that?
and that's spoilers.
Ah, yes, the dreaded spoiler.
Yeah, because like these sources you sent, they mentioned that this is a big deal for reviewers.
Oh, huge. Like, it's a tightrope walk.
Yeah, because you want to inform the audience, but you don't want to ruin the experience.
Right, exactly. Like, you got to find that balance.
So how do they do it?
Well, there's no easy answer.
Okay.
It depends on the reviewer and the outlet and the audience.
Okay.
Like, some reviewers just go full spoiler alert.
Oh.
They're like, hey, if you haven't seen this movie, turn back now.
Right.
But obviously that's not for everyone.
Right. Like some people want to know.
Some people want that deep dive.
Yeah.
But others are like, no, I want to go in fresh.
Right.
So there are different approaches.
So like what are some of the ways they avoid spoilers?
Well, one common thing is to just label it clearly.
Okay.
Like in a written review, they might have a spoiler section.
Oh, okay.
Or in a video essay, they might put a timestamp
Okay.
so you can skip ahead.
Right. So it's like giving the viewer control.
Exactly. It's like, hey, you choose how much you want to know.
I like that.
Yeah.
So what about when reviewers want to talk about like the themes,
Right.
like the deeper stuff?
The impact.
Yeah, without giving away the ending.
Ah, that's the real art.
Yeah. How do they do
It's all about word choice.
that? Okay.
Like, instead of saying, and then this character dies,
Right.
you might say, this film explores the themes of loss and grief.
Oh, okay. So it's like you're hinting at it.
Exactly. You're leaving breadcrumbs.
Without spoiling the surprise.
Right. And sometimes it's better to focus on the emotional journey, like
Okay.
how the film made you feel,
Okay. Yeah.
what questions it raised.
Right.
You can talk about all that without giving away the plot.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Wow. This has been such a fascinating deep dive.
I know, right? It really makes you think.
Yeah, it's like I never even thought about all this stuff before.
It's like a whole new world.
Yeah, but now I'm like analyzing every movie I watch.
Right, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, I think so too.
It makes you a more engaged viewer.
Yeah, and it helps you appreciate the art form more.
Exactly.
So for everyone listening out there, I encourage you to think about your favorite movies
Yes.
and like what elements really stood out to you.
What made you think?
Yeah, what themes, what symbolism.
How would you review it?
Yeah.
Using all these insights
We've learned.
we've talked about.
Yeah, it's like we're all critics now.
In a way, we are.
Yeah.
We all have opinions,
We all have those opinions.
and we can share them.
And we can analyze and, yeah.
engage in the conversation.
This has been awesome.
It has been fun.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And we'll see you next time for another fascinating exploration into the world of information.
See you later.